Hey guys, I'm back again with what I'm thinking. It's funny how time flies. I want to talk about a little bit about, you know, police brutality and young black men in America. We celebrating Freddie Gray. He was killed by the hands of the police 10 years ago. That started a whole lot of rioting and protesting and all this thing in Baltimore, Maryland. You remember Floyd? George Floyd died at the hands of the police also. And it's so many young black men died by the hands of black police. Well, not too many by black police. The Freddie Gray incident was, I think, with black and white officers, but George Floyd. I mean, it goes way back, way back. I remember back then when Rodney King got beat up in LA. I mean, in bright daylight. And they show you how the police was beating them with the bats and kicking on him. And, and this was what, back in 1991? It's a long time. But that's not just it, though. It goes back way further than that. I mean, Benjamin Thomas, 1899, was beat up by a mob. A white man died. Nothing was done about it. I mean, so, this thing started a long, long time ago. I mean, I could go on and on and on and call names. That doesn't mean anything. You know what's the big thing now? Is that it still happens. I read a book some almost 40 years ago. And I can't remember the author name. It was a female. She was some psychologist or something. And she made a statement in this book. And she said, this thing about young black men getting killed, it's a reason for it. First it started off with the white mob, these, white men in the South killing all these young black men. Then, when we got rid of that, then it started with the police officers stopping young blacks for no reason. And before you know it, because, when the police stop a black kid or a black man and the police stop a white man or a white kid, they don't get treated the same way as the black. It's like it was meant to be. And I can't remember this author's name. I was trying to remember it before I started this conversation. But she said that it was written a long time ago for black young men to be attacked by the police officer and get killed. Because if you look back, there's been a lot of racial injustice by white officers that always got set free and all of that. And she said that if they don't stop, or if they let these young black men grow up to be whatever, it's like they're going to overtake this white race. Like, for instance, let's use sports. Basketball, football, some in baseball. You don't see a lot of blacks skiing down mountains because they ain't get there yet. But once upon a time, you didn't see too many black guys in football. You saw them, but it wasn't that many. And look today, how many? Same thing with basketball, baseball. You see how long it took. At Beirut, I can't think of his name now, but we didn't dominate a lot of these sports like we dominate now. So it was carved in stone that we have to stop. You know, that's what white supremacy was saying. We can't let these black kids grow up to be football players, and they're going to dominate the sports, and you won't see a lot playing the sports. But that's not true. That is so not true. I remember once upon a time they said a black man couldn't quarterback a football team. He couldn't be the quarterback. Or a black man can't be a head coach because he would know how to read the play. And now we see a lot of black coaches, basketball, football, and all the other sports around here. But if the white men had their choice, this would never happen. You know how I look at life, folks? Live and let live. You know, we need to stop this racist bullshit in this country. You know, people still talk about Freddie Gray and George Floyd, but what did these guys die for? Because we still ain't seeing no whole lot of changes, where you still seeing in the South where black kids are getting stopped and getting beat to death, and the madness still continues. So, you know, this social injustice still takes place today. Yes, we say America is one of the most freest place to live and all the other stuff that goes on with it. But when you look back, it's really not all that free as you're saying. And for the black man who only make up, I think it's about 17%. I'm almost sure, not 100% sure, of this American population. But when you go to prisons, we makes up 75% or 70%. So why is this, if you have a country with 300 million people living in it and less than 50 million is black folks, but yet still in that 50 million we might have, let's say 20 million or 30 million is black men. But yet still the jail has more black men than white men. And I'm willing to bet you anything. Some of these guys in prison, some of these black guys, they're innocent. Now, don't get me wrong. Let them motherfuckers is guilty as charged. But it's a lot of injustice too, that a lot of them shouldn't even be there. But that's the kind of society we live in. And, you know, this Freddie Gray 10th year anniversary still make me think about it. I mean, I was there for the march. I mean, I didn't break anything or vandalize anything, but, you know, I peacefully protested against the madness too. And even though today you still see pictures and murals on the wall with Freddie Gray and all these other people, George Floyd and all of that, but America hasn't changed, and we need to. This is what I'm thinking, and I know what I'm thinking. A lot of other people think about it too. So until I think again, I'm out.